get out to the 47-yard line for the first down. Saying again, dropping back to pass. You can expect you're going to see a lot of that. Hits his receiver. He's got the first down and then some as it crosses midfield.
Brian Thomas on the middle screen. West has been saving that. You can tell because they come with it. It's well versed. Nice screen. Good job all the way through by Greg Stain and Brian Thomas in the offensive line. You see they hold him 1001, 1002 is the count, then they let him go. Brian Thomas cuts right off of the lineman's behind and gets right upfield. That's a good, well-executed play by the Warriors.
And good protection of the ball there by Thomas as well as the Cougar defender went for the strip. First down play for the Warriors now. Again, Saint looking to pass. They look to set up the screen. This one's incomplete.
Surprisingly, oh, late flag, real late flag. Surprisingly, though, Rufus, West runs a number of screens. And you don't see many high school teams run screens because it takes a lot of practice time, but West runs them and runs them pretty well. We call it delay a game. I didn't think the 25-second clock ran down that quick.
Oh, it didn't. I think it was the act of frustration by the Cougar, not the Cougars, sorry, the Warrior receiver who dropped that pass sort of annoyed the official, and he thought that to be the most appropriate call. Actually, what crossed my mind was that he was going to call unsportsmanlike conduct, which would have been a huge 15-yard penalty. Instead, he very judiciously elects to make a lower penalty call, the 5-yard delay of game. Sane again, back to pass. Sane hit on the pass.
Ooh.
And that one's incomplete. That one intended for win by.
Sane is down, and he's getting up slowly, Rufus. He won't be getting up. He will not be getting up much if he keeps getting if he keeps getting battered like that. Just took a shot at one of his offensive linemen, and as a former lineman, if a quarterback ever took a shot at me, I'd knocked him out right then and there like Shaquille O'Neal did today.
Well, that tells you who's the leader on that team, that's for sure, and that's the kind of fire you like to see in your quarterback. I can tell you, over my years, I've seen Terry Bradshaw pop a couple of his linemen upside the head for a bonehead play, and saying basically saying, you guys are getting me killed out here. Let's see if they block any better this time. Look at it. The blocking is already better. Look at the time he has. Pass is incomplete.
That should have been pass interference right there. Chapman was all over his back, but hey, Chapman, that's a good play if the penalty's not called, and West is going to have to punt. Yes, you the man.
But folks, what you just saw was how a leader on a team in a team sport, gets his teammates to produce when needed, right? Because you saw the protection on Sane on that pass, although it was incomplete, quite frankly, was outstanding. I mean, they weren't about to let the Cougars in there again. Back to receive Caven Jackson and Brandon Russell. Caven over on the far side. And get the punt away. This is an awful punt. Cougars need to make sure it doesn't hit one of them, and it doesn't. It's going to be down by number 57 for West, right at the 44-yard line. So, from their own 44.
11-yard punt, no return.
Early in the fourth quarter here with the Cougars leading by a score, 27-16. One of the shorter punts in history there, brought to us courtesy of the fine statistician here at Hawthorne High School, our good friend Dale. 10-yard punt there. That doesn't do much for your defensive effort.
Nope. And here comes Joe Etchemer.
Joe Etchemer, the lone back in the backfield. There's the pitch back to him. You got to get going on this, and now you're down, so
oh, boy.
The flea flicker doesn't flick that time.
Well, Rufus, when you do a lot of trick plays like the Cougars do, you're going to get some mistakes. And when you make a mistake on a gadget play, it'll really cost you. Take a look at Etchemer. He drops it, and instead of flying on it, he says, well, I'll let you get nailed, Prince. And Prince Hampton gets blasted in the back, Rufus.
So it's going to make it a 2nd and long for the Cougars now. Boy, a loss of 10 on the play is going to make it a 2nd and 20 for the Cougars. They show the I formation, hand it off to the second man through, Joe Etchemer, and Joe picks up about 7 of that 10 that he gave up on that last play. It's going to make it should be a 3rd and about 13.
Seems like we say 7 or 8 each and every time this guy gets the ball, Rufus. He's really, now the Cougars with Etchemer and Russell have the best 1-2 punch in the Bay League and one of the best 1-2 punches in the Division II. Take another look at that trap play ran by the Cougars. Cut right up the inside of the tight end and tackle. And we've just been told by our excellent Hawthorne statisticians that he's over 100 yards for this evening's game. Time to put it up in the air, though, Rufus.
So it's a 3rd and 13, 3rd according to the yard marker. Etchemer looking for room around the right side. Etchemer again picking up good yardage on the play. He's going to leave him about 6 yards short, though.
Yes, Etchemer's good to give you 8 and 7, but he's not Napoleon Kaufman. He's not threatening to take it 60 yards. I don't understand why the Cougars are running on 3rd down and 15. This is the 2nd time they've ran on these 3rd and extremely long. We're being told that they got the lead and run the clock down, but it's 9 minutes remaining. That's plenty of time, and you can't get too conservative on your ball club or you end up losing it.
Cougars punted away this time. Punt taken by number 34, brought down on the play by number 6 of the Cougars and number 5, Courtney Ketter and Teron Burrell on the play.
By the way, Rufus, of course, our executive producer, director of Channel 60 Sports is Mike Galarza. Got the Channel 60 memo. We have to say that 2 times a game.
It's in the fine print of the contract.
Sparse crowd. Surprising. You usually do get big crowds here at Howcat. But this is party night.
All right, we've got 8:49 left here in the contest. Warriors staring at an 11-point deficit, score 27-16. 1st and 10 for them. Keep it on the ground. Brandon White with the carry.
Talk about head over heels. He falls head over heels over a Cougar. Well, he just got pile drived into the ground right there, Rufus. Take another look at this. Hey, he does a good job initially getting in between the blocks, but Prince on his head. Whoa, that's scary when you first look at it. Funny if he gets up though.
It's going to be a 2nd down and 5 now for the Warriors. They're out at the 30-yard line. Need to get to the 35 for the 1st down. Sane rolls left, looking for a receiver. And he's going to be sacked on the play. That's another one of those covered sacks that you were talking about, Jason.
Yeah, the Cougar defenders are just staying with actually an extra defensive back end. They had about 5 of them in that play. That's the 2nd sack of the game for Thetford. He's done a terrific job. Without one of the leaders in the area, Kenneth Finau, playing today, the Cougars have really done a good job getting pressure on the West quarterback.
So it's a 3rd and 11 now for the Warriors. Again, Sane dropping back to pass. And once again, Sane being sacked by the Cougar defensive line, led by big number 55, William Vea.
He didn't get any block in that play. He punched his blocker last time they did block. He should shoot him this one because there was absolutely no block. Look at that. One of the blockers is saying, hey, I didn't block him. Has his hands up in the air. Then West offense starting to fall apart.
So it's 4th and 16 for West now. Their opportunities starting to slip away as we've got 6:35 left. That's Caven Jackson who's going to handle the punt. Caven looking to turn it up. Another block put on there. That was number 45. One of the Cougars laid a huge block on Brandon White of West. There you see Caven Jackson, Jr. split in on your screen.
All right, the Cougars can put West Torrance away with a nice long drive right here, Rufus.
And I think this is where you'll probably see them go to the ground game almost exclusively.
I was about to say, knowing the Cougars,
Well-
they'll fake the ground and go deep.
Well, there you see the danger in putting the ball up in the air over through his receiver. His closest receiver, in fact, was number 21 for West.
This is Hawthorne High School, Rufus, where the norm is abnormal because, hey, they cross you up at every point. You think you got them figured out, and they come with something totally opposite of what you thought they were going to do.
Well, you're right. No one has ever accused Coach Robbins of having a predictable offense, rather. So it's a 2nd down and 10 now. Here's the pitch back to Etchemer. Etchemer's going around the right side. Had a big block by number 76. Just flew past him. Now he's like, son, I can't wait around for you to get out there. Picks up about 9 on the play.
Boy, does Joe Etchemer run that sweep nice. Turn to the field once again. He's Marcus Allen Jr., Rufus.
3rd and
Very
1.
smooth.
That was big number 76, Tony Terrell, a 6'3", 295-pound senior who was leading the block. But Etchemer just flew past him.
TNT's been doing his job tonight. He's been blowing West D linemen off the ball.
3rd and 1 here for the Cougars. Big 3rd down play if you want to maintain possession. And they pick up the 1st down. Still on his feet is Andre Cummins. Andre Cummins showing 2nd and 3rd effort as he turns what would have been a short gain into a huge back-breaking gain, crossing the 10-yard line down around the 7.
I know Andre Cummings threw for over 200 yards earlier in the season, Rufus, but this has been his best game. Technically, he's led the team well. This play, he just looks like a slivery Jake the Snake Plummer here as he just gets his head low and dodges tackles. Nice play by Andre Cummings. Once again, he's really looked impressive. And the Bay League teams better watch out because the Cougar machine is starting to roll.
It was a big 29-yard run for Andre Cummins on that play. Takes him down to the 7-yard line. On inside dive play, they pick up maybe a yard on the play. That's Brandon Russell with the carry.
Cougars may have just salted this ball game away with this drive right here. So the Cougars, once again, 2 weeks straight, putting big points on the scoreboard. Last week 29, this week 27. They put together long, productive drives.
And they've got 4:40 and a 2nd and goal from the 5. Now they say a 2nd and 9. The yard mark is at the 5, but we won't argue with that. Joe Etchemer goes around the right side for the touchdown. 5-yard touchdown run by Joe Etchemer for the touchdown. Here with 4:28 left in the 4th quarter. And you're right, that's the old icing on the cake.
Cougars have found themselves a running game. They found themselves a quarterback, and they found themselves some guys that can catch the ball. They may find themselves a CIF ring. They continue to improve the way they have this season.
Hector Urbano, number 11, out on the field to prepare for the extra point attempt. Again, it's always an adventure.
This is a team that really gave, this West team is really gave Peninsula trouble, blew out Lusinger, and the Cougars really have dominated. Gave up a couple of nice plays for West, but the Cougars have really done a terrific job moving the ball offensively. This whole game, credit goes to Dan Robbins and his offensive staff. Dick Robbins has done a terrific job working on Cummings and his quarterbacking skills. One of the Cougars, number 5, he's in the huddle. I wonder if we can get a shot of him. He's got the new socks. All the Cougars wear the red socks. He's kind of got the Cindy Lauper socks on them. Red and white striped candy cane socks. I believe that is Courtney Ketter with the red and white. I have an urge to go to McDonald's all of a sudden, Lucas.
All right. And we're trying to get this extra point attempt in. Play was momentarily stopped. You've got
No, Rufus, I thought you wanted to be here all
down,
night.
someone down over on the far side of the field, on the west side,
Is
down
hurt?
in the end
Somebody
zone.
injured? Looks like somebody's injured. It's a West player.
And the referees have elected not to get this play underway until the player is attended to.
Going to see if we can see the injury. On the replay of the touchdown, Etchema stretches it deep. Didn't look like he was even challenged at the end. Didn't even look like that he was challenged. And the man that's hurt is, I believe, is Greg Stain, the quarterback and safety for the West Torrance Ball Club. Look at him stretching for the pylon. Etchema makes it easy. Stain is hurt. Doesn't look like anything's wrong with him. He just collapsed. Now he jogs off.
You're right, and coming out of the injury, has to come out of the game at least for a play. That was number 10, Greg Sane, who was down on the far sideline. Gets up, moving around gingerly under his own steam, so he appears to be okay, and that's good to see. Cougars now will finally get this extra point attempt underway. You talk about freezing your kicker. I'm sure Urbano is just about frozen. Of course, he's not going to kick it anyway. They're going to pass it for the two-point conversion. That two-point pass was to Prince Hampton. So, was that Prince or was that number 9, J.R. Moala?
I don't know why the Cougars would go for two there, but however it worked, so they'll take it. That was, I believe that was J.R. Moala, number 9. I'm waiting to see J.R. Moala get some carries at fullback. I hear he was awesome, simply awesome on the sophomore level last year. Want to see him play the big time.
So, here in the fourth quarter with 4:28 left, you see the Cougars of Hawthorne leading the Warriors of West by a score of 35-16 right here on the premier sports station in the South Bay, Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 60.
Is it time to pick our Lawndale Cable usage player of the game, Rufus?
I think we're probably pretty close.
There he
to
is, Smokey the Bear. I'm being told by executive producer Mike Galarza. Looks like Smokey the Bear mixed with backdraft.
And you got Wimbar handling the return, and Wimbar is going to be brought down at the 25-yard line.
Finally, they did what they should do with Wimbar because he looks so slow, like he's jogging out there. They dump him on his head. Courtney Catter made the tackle. Former Hawthorne Intermediate School attendee.
So we've got 4:20 left here. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Warriors. They're going to spot this ball at the 26-yard line. Say dropping back the pass, goes over the middle of Wimbar. You got a flag on the play, a couple of flags on the play now. Wimbar showing the side judge that he made the reception. But with the flags, let's see.
Looks like one of the Cougars may have a cramp as Kevin Jackson is stretching out Jermaine Chapman's calf. Chapman looks to be okay. I like him. He shows a lot of excitement out on the field. Like he enjoys playing the game. Certainly do enjoy watching him return those kicks. I don't think the Losing Year Olympians enjoyed as he returned one on them last year to win the game. But Jermaine Chapman, one of the best return men we've seen in recent years here at Hawthorne High. And
you see or perhaps you didn't see the interference call made against the Cougars, 10-yard penalty.
Is that a coach dance? Guess you can dance when you're up 35-16.
I was at the 41-yard line now where it's a 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Say it again, back to pass. Sees a receiver. Makes
That
the
ball,
completion to number 21. Of course, that is McAllister, James McAllister.
Rufus, I think that one may have hit the ground. We're going to take another look at the replay. Looked like that one, he may have trapped that between the ground and his chest. It's going to come right to your pitch. I believe you may get a good look at it. Simple out pattern. Stretches out for it. And I think that ball hit the ground. West gets a break, but they're getting their tails whipped, so it doesn't matter.
2nd down and 4 for the Warriors now from their own 48-yard line. Need to get to the other 48 on the other side. They keep it on the ground. They pick it up nicely. Brandon White running beautifully, running hard, running strong down to the Cougar 39-yard line. But they've got 19 points to try to make up in 3 minutes, 50 seconds. Got to start with a touchdown if they're to have any chance at all. And quite frankly, you and I both know there's not much of a chance. Say it again, dropping back to pass. That's the only element of their attack right now. And he's brought down at the 33-yard line.
These Hawthorne defensive linemen and defensive ends know it's time to pad your sack stats because they got to throw it every play. Hurry up off his. Shane is exhausted. He's on his hands and knees. Poor quarterback is exhausted. He's played his heart out.
Well, he's played his heart out. He's taking a beating as well. I mean, you can't discount that. He'll be looking for the Ben Gay tonight, that's for sure. 2nd down play. He's dropping back to pass, looking for his receiver. And Winbar, his best receiver, sure hands, comes up short on him that time as he drops the ball. Winbar a little slow to get up. I don't think anything's really wrong with him. Just his pride is hurt, that's all. Because he knows that's a catch that he should have made.
All I can come with on my vote for player of the game is co-MVPs being Jermaine Chapman and Andre Cummings. They really played well tonight. And if you want to sponsor our player of the game, call us at City Hall.
And that's your suggestion? Let's see here. As I think about this for a second, I think Joe Etchema gets a few votes in this thing too, Jason. We may have to send it down to the truck to break the tie here. And Etchema's got 100 yards rushing. He's got 1 touchdown for sure. He's got 2 touchdowns.
Our Al Davis tiebreaker from Mike Gallarz with the boss. He says it's Etchema. If I disagree, I won't be up here next week. Hey, Joe Etchema, Marcus Allen, the whole Cougar Ball Club really played well tonight.
Played very well, but our outstanding player of the game is Joe Etchema.
Oh, did you see that? He passed it to himself. It's the ball. He went to throw it. It slipped out of his hand. He caught it, I believe, with the other arm.
And Sain's a frustrated quarterback right now, wanting to take on the entire Cougar defense, and probably considering the circumstances with 2:13 left, West taking a timeout.
Let's see if we can see if that ball did indeed slip out of his hand when he was throwing it. Look, he went to throw it. Whoop! Right back into the other hand. Well, 2 minutes left to play. Rufus and the Cougars really have played an excellent game. Can't say it enough. Without Kenneth Finau and Keith Green, 2 of their mainstays, and some of the beautiful members of the Cougar faithful are here tonight.
And again, we see a little bit of the thinness in tonight's crowd, which again we attribute to the fact that it's Halloween. We hope wherever you are, you've had an enjoyable Halloween and you've got more treats than you did tricks.
We know in 2 weeks it's not going to be like that when they play Lusinger. This place will be packed when they play Lusinger in 2 weeks. We all know who I'm picking. Since I'm at Howcap, I'm not going to say, though.
Of course, we don't need to tell you that Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 60 will bring you that game as we have for the last many years. The only place where you can see it on TV. You can't see it on Fox. You can't see it on NBC. You can't see it on Fox Sports West 2. But guess what? You can see it right here on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 60 in 2 weeks.
But your best bet is to come out and enjoy the game and then go home and catch it at 11 o'clock when you get home.
Well, we're going to take a break right here on Channel 60 Sports, and we'll come out of the timeout in just a second. All right, we're back to live action fans with 2:13 left in the contest here. Zane still in at quarterback. Zane throws the pass, loops it out. It's going to be intercepted by number 50. Number 50's got a clean jersey. That means we haven't called his name often tonight. That's Rodale Givens. Actually, we have. I have to give him his props on that.
Well, Rodale Givens, that play looked like he knew the screen was coming. The ball was deflected high in the air. You have a ball thrown in the middle of the line like that, you cannot have any deflections like that. But the Cougars get it back.
And that is probably ends what has been a miserable night for Greg Zane. A courageous effort on his part, but the guy took a beating all night. His offensive line didn't give him a lot of support.
Kevin Jackson looks like he's in at quarterback now to do the mop-up duty. Good job by Andre Cummins. He deserves it.
Well, you got Andre Cummins on the field. Andre Cummins is a slot receiver. Looks like the receiver over on this side actually is lining up offside. Oh, come on. Well,
go get him, Rufus.
I mean, we got 2:05. Some of these things you got to start looking past at this point in the game.
Got anywhere to go tonight, Rufus?
I'm being told by the Hawthorne statistician that in fact was West's first penalty of the game. Cougars keeping it on the ground. We got some fresh people in here. This was number 20 who's breaking off a huge run before he's finally taken out of bounds. Let's see. That's Lionel Lawrence. Lawrence is a 5'9", 150-pound junior. No, that's Errol Cutler. That's not Lionel Lawrence.
The guy who ran the play, I believe, probably was Lionel Lawrence. Errol Cutley probably was the guy on the pitcher. 35-yard gain and a big one. Look at him turn the corner, getting his, as I'm being told by Mike Galarza, producer director, Channel 60 highlight on. Nice play.
He'll probably watch that 20 times a night before he goes to bed. All right, 1st and 10 for the Cougars.
Whoa!
Here's a huge pitch back to Chapman. Chapman looking for some room around the right side, nothing doing.
Cummings turned one way, Chapman turned the other, and look, it was all messed up right there. Cougars look like they're putting in some of their subs. Let's take another look. Oh, you know what happened? Chapman was the man who turned the wrong way because his lead block went to the right. Chapman went to the left. He doesn't see much time in tailback, but I'm being told I'm wrong by Mike Galarza, the producer director, and as you all know, if I disagree, I'll be in trouble. No, I'm being told he was going to reverse that play.
Nonetheless, it's 2nd down and 10 for the Cougars. And no gain on the play there. It's going to make it a 3rd down play. Gives us a chance to remind you fans and to let you know as we roll down to 1 minute 30 seconds that these broadcasts are the exclusive property of Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 60. Any rebroadcast or retransmission without the express written consent of Channel 60 Sports is strictly prohibited. Our hats off once again to our fine crew, and we'll get those to you in just a second as the Cougars step up to the line here on the 3rd 13 play.
Dan Robinson's boys look like they are indeed back, Ruben.
Well, they've been on a pretty good run the last couple of weeks, Jason. You're right, and they stumbled a little bit in the early part of the season, but everything seems to be operating on all cylinders right now. 50 seconds left. As we talk about our crew, of course, we got Bill Barnes on camera, Ali Santana, Robert Medina, Jose Bravo, all excellent cameramen. In the truck, running replay, Armin George, graphics and technical director, Tom Strickfat, and of course, the executive producer of Channel 60 Sports, none other than Michael Larsa.
Nice play action faked by Kevin that play.
Kevin keeps it himself, takes a bit of a beating for the effort. Fourth down play, 15 seconds left. Cougars realizing this one is well in hand as we've got a score of 35-16 in favor of the Cougars. They, in fact, scored in all 4 quarters of this ball game. They started out early with the early lead 6-0.
There's Ali Santana in his Halloween. Is that a mannequin?
That's a cameraman who takes his job very seriously. I predict great things for that cameraman.
There's Jose, Hawthorne Jose Bravo.
Jose Gravy Train Bravo, we call him. And that should be the old ball game, fans. And well, we got 9 seconds clock running.
There's our fire marshal.
There's Armin George with Gober. So yeah, that Gober is a camera hog. I tell you, every time we look at somebody, he's in it. And that's the ball game, fans. Again, the Cougars scored in all 4 quarters. They trailed briefly in the first quarter by a score of 7-6. But once they got back on top, starting in the second quarter by 14-7, they extended it on from there. And it ends with the Cougars coming out of here with a 35-13 victory over 35-16, I'm sorry, I should say, over the Warriors of West. Very good ball game, and again, another positive building block for the Hawthorne Cougars. It's been fun being with you tonight, fans, here on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 6. Let me bring Jason in here for a couple of closing comments.
Well, Rufus, the Hawthorne Cougars are working their way to the Hawthorne Cougars of old. Their offense looks really well. and the Cougars are really looking good these last couple of weeks, Rufus. And I think that they're on their way. Maybe not a league championship. They have to have Peninsula lose, but they're going to do some things in the playoffs. This is a Cougar team that's ready to play with the big boys.
Well, again, the Cougars are in second place in Bay League competition, but again, as we've said, obviously over the last several weeks, things have started to turn their way, and they're looking good. So we hope, fans, that you enjoyed this doubleheader treat that we've brought to you. Last night's Lusinger game and tonight Halloween over here at Hawthorne. So the Cougars come out of here with a huge treat on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 6 as we all work very hard to bring you the very best in South Bay High School sports. For the entire crew, including Jason Miller, my color commentator, I'm Rufus Washington, saying good night.